Are you looking for the best laptops for programming? In this video we will look at some of the best laptops for programming on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Asus VivoBook Pro 16X OLED. If you spend hours upon hours in front of a display, you should consider picking up the Asus VivoBook Pro 16X OLED. The tester described the 4K OLED display as more exceptional than stunning. Colors are vibrant and darks have quite the depth. This display produces clear images and is a good choice for those who suffer from eye strain. The VivoBook doesn't skimp on processing power, either. The CPU is the Ryzen 9 5900HX, which should be plenty fast for most coding needs and general use tasks. It's also packing 32GB of RAM and a whopping 1TB of PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD storage. That's sufficient enough for multitasking or running a few applications simultaneously, and a near-ideal configuration for intense programming. There are few knocks against this machine, like the boring design, lackluster webcam, and finicky fingerprint reader. Those drawbacks are relatively minuscule, though. Overall, this is a well-rounded machine that any programmer would love. Number 2. Acer Swift 3 SF316-51. If you're on a tight budget, the Acer Swift 3 is an excellent value. It features an Intel Core i7-11370H with 4 cores, 16GB of RAM, and a 512GB SSD. That's powerful enough for most programming tasks. As for the build quality, our tester described it as tightly constructed. The keyboard is also comfortable to use for extended periods and the display offers rich, lifelike color. Battery life is disappointing, however, as it managed to die in about 5 hours after light use. If you don't mind keeping this thing tethered to an outlet, then this is a fantastic budget option for most programmers, especially if you want a big screen on a modest budget. Number 3. ROG Zephyrus G14. The Asus ROG Zephyrus G15 is something of a rare gem in the Sanjun, as it's both lightweight and powerful. It weighs a little over 3 pounds, which comfortably slots it under the ultra-portable umbrella. You can also expect fast, reliable performance thanks to the AMD Ryzen 9 6900HS processor, 32GB of DDR5 RAM, and the 1TB of PCIe 4.0 SSD storage, a great combination for heavy-duty programming sessions. The only trade-off is the keyboard, as it feels mushy and the backlighting is less than impressive. But if you're looking for a portable laptop that promises snappy performance, the Zephyrus G14 is the way to go. Number 4. Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 9. Programmers spend ages writing and updating code, so it's important to get a laptop with a comfortable keyboard. Well, it doesn't get much better than Lenovo's pillow-like ThinkPad keyboards. If it's comfort you're after, the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 9 will serve you well. According to our tester, the keys feel snappy and are quiet when mashed and offer just the right amount of travel. You should be able to type for long periods without any disruptions, as there are no annoyingly shortened keys. As for performance, the X1 Carbon packs a decent punch. This machine has an Intel Core i7-1185 G7 CPU, 16GB of RAM, and 512GB of PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD storage. While the CPU isn't as powerful as the newer 12th gen processors, it should still deliver reliable performance. In other words, you should be able to easily run apps and quickly compile code. We had only a few minor nitpicks with this machine. For one, the webcam is limited to 720p. That's not terribly surprising nor much of a deal breaker. The display color is a bit cool as well. Aside from those points, we feel the X1 Carbon is a good performer with a fantastic keyboard, though some other options offer more hardware firepower for a similar price.